Now, these was the old indicators. So the bulb ones, and they was constantly snapping. I did mention it, like I said, in one of my videos. I was having issues with them. Every single one that I had broken at some point. Very weak. I don't know what was going on. I don't know if these was like new ones, what had been put on, cheap branded ones originally. But I bought 2 from Triumph, put them on, and they was exactly the same. They snapped now. Before I had it in the shed, bolted down and everything, I had it under a rain cover, and I think the wind getting under it was what was doing the damage originally. But like I said, they was all fragile then and glued back together. So if anyone is having these issues, I'll put a couple of pictures up of ones what I bought off Amazon. So I bought these LED ones off Amazon, and when I originally plugged them in, they was flashing too fast. I'll show you what they was like originally. Can you see that? That's how they did flash. That one's not on, obviously, just that one. So if you do buy them and you are having them issues with it flashing too quick, it's because it's been converted from a bulb system to an LED system. So did a bit of research and I found this on Amazon. So there's the part number, and there is a relay at the back. So on mine it goes here, so it sits in there. You've got to take this back panel off in the seats and it sits there. So we take that one off. And we swap it for this one. It's not going in. That's what she said. It will go in though, I have just had it in once. What the hell? There we go. It's in. And then, if we look, it's flashing nice and slow. And it's flashing nice and slow as it should be. So, as I said, that's what you need. Tenner off Amazon. I'll put a screenshot of it up, what you want, and then we'll build it all back up. Put the front indicators on too. So basically all I've got to do now, get that in there somewhere nice and tidy, fit them two to the fronts, keep that somewhere safe in case I ever go back to the standard ones. So these, when these are going back on, you've got a little insert there if you can see it, and a little rubber slider there. And it literally slides up, and then there's a little one down there as well if you can see it. See that hole there? And it lines up perfectly for the screw. Got one from that side. And then we have one for this side, so you can see a bit better there. So that goes into that hole there. They're a bit fiddly to do. There we go. Drops down into the hole. Again, that's what she said. So we'll put the back plate on now. I did make a little modification to the back plate. So the back plate is just the plastic, and then I put this top plate on so I could have the back box on. Hold on, I can't turn it over because the bolts are in it. I'm going to put these little plates on the underneath to hold down securely for when the box is on. And then, as you can see there, I had to drill through the top so I could put the bolts in to fasten this plastic plate back down. So we'll line it up there, and then I have a long Allen key that goes in each of the holes to bolt it back down. So that's the piece that the indicators go into, and that piece sits on there, higher up there. Now, to get it off, it's one bolt there and one bolt there. I think it is just that one. Now, as well, when you're taking the tank off, everybody says you need to take this piece off, this piece off, and the peak off if you have one. You don't. You literally, I'll show you as it's all going back together, you're just undoing it so it does move like that. So I've just wired in, the cigarette lighter wasn't working. Well, it was, but it was on and off when I was riding, so I've just wired in a new one. I've just wired from that straight to the battery. I've put a fuse on it, and I've put a switch on it in case I ever need to turn it off, in case it's draining the battery or anything. So that's nice and easy. But anyway, I had to take the tank off for it. You do not have to take that beak off. And it literally fits on like that piece there. You screw it through the back. And I've got a bit of damage on mine. I had to fix it because a pigeon decided to fly into me. And it smashed. I don't know if you can see all the cracking around there. But they completely smashed a big piece of it out. There you go, I can see it there. Yeah, so I had to epoxy resin it all at the back. But it's solid. And then these literally just plug into them two bits there. Just them. So for that one piece, there's one bolt there, and then there's one that sits around the back there. Now it's going to be a bit awkward to try and video this one, but I'll have a go. Goes in there somewhere. I'm not going to be able to video that one, but there it is in that hole. That's what she said. I amused myself, but I'll switch you back on in a minute when we've got that one in. And you've got this piece. So this piece has a bolt there, and then it has two on the back that go through them two holes there. So, and then we've got that little cave there that piece slides into, like this. Like that. And it's looking like a bike again. So I'll put them in. And there we go. That's that side built. And we have, turn her on. We have new LED indicators. They don't flash at 26,000 miles per hour. And I'll do the same again on the other side now. And then I'll run you through this, just this little bit. Oh well, I don't even need to run you through, because it's just literally 4 bolts and it just sits back in place. And it's as simple as that. So if you want to change, as I say, change your indicators from bulb to LED, I'll put it all on. I'll put the I'll put on what you need to buy, and it's a simple job. It's cost me probably about 30 quid in total. That's for all 4 corner indicators and the little regulator.